by those early ganks from him overextending in the bottom lane. So we'll see how they decide to change it up in this game 3. We have entered into picks and bans. Azir, again, banned away by Apex. Interestingly enough, Shen is the switch up.
Yep, getting that one off the table. Not going to have that again. The dive combo is just a bit too much at this point. Looks like Phoenix1 going to stick with their keen bans. Focus on that mid lane. So we get the, oh yes, the other one. Victor comes in as well. So bunch of mages off the table. And now we get to open it up to the mystery keen picks. Or just another Karma. Dang it.
Not so much a mystery. Well, that could be support for special.
We need to get, yeah, it could be. High chance of it going to Keen. We'd love to see the Urgots and random melee champions, but not going to be the case this time around. Cassiopeia for Period.
Gets through. We've seen Phoenix1 stall out games with it before, and we've seen Apex do the exact same thing. So, Phoenix1 taking a page out of Apex's book with this pick. Cassiopeia and Braum to help it up.
Yeah, counter initiation galore here for Phoenix1 on their first round.
You've got to imagine, though, that the guy who brings the pick into the meta probably knows how to deal with it.
I mean, so he was playing it first in North American LCS.
In North America.
And that was just on stage. A lot of people have been practicing it in games. Like, Cassiopeia mid is not a crazy pick that was brought into the meta. After the mage rework, you know, people were a bit hesitant putting more time practicing on her, but not too crazy.
Okay. Well, looks like it is going to be Jhin and Rek'Sai locked in for Apex. Some long range engage from Apollo, keep him in the back, and Shrimp returning to that Rek'Sai.
Yeah, definitely one of the premier AD carries right now. Jhin most picked for the last couple of weeks, actually, across all competitive regions. See if Phoenix1 can follow up with here. Mouse over on the Twitch, and they will go. Huge team fight here for Phoenix1. They're just daring Apex to initiate on them.
Yeah, Elise and Twitch going to be locked in for Phoenix1. They've got some pretty big team fight. Using that double global strategy worked out so well for them in game 2, where they were able to get these flanks and just continually try to catch Apex and surprise burst them down. Lissandra still open. We could see Lissandra top maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think they're going, like they're so heavily invested in this counter engage. They do definitely need a point man though, you know, somebody either to do the split push or to actually be tanky on the front line, because Braum cannot do it alone. Trundle's already been taken up by Apex, so whatever tank you get is going to get shredded. Nar's really been rising in priority pretty much across the world as well, and does have range part of the time to try and deal with Trundle. Poke him down a little bit as Phoenix1 round out their comp. Adds a little bit of wombo too, because Gnar can set up Cassiopeia and Twitch. Like, there is a huge amount of AoE damage out of this Phoenix1 team. This is a team fight team for Phoenix1. They're no longer looking to split across the map. Changing strategy in game number 3, our final game of the series, to try and get their first set victory. Meanwhile, Apex trying to hold on here. Don't want to let one drop right now, because they are just on the border of playoffs, hovering at that 6th spot. Need to convert here to ensure that they can keep that spot.
Yeah. Pressure is on for Apex. As you said, you don't want to be that first team to drop a match against Phoenix1. And now Phoenix1, if they're allowed to get team fights, they've got a lot of damage with these compositions. So it is time for last licks. If you want to sway the fan vote, grab your phone and tweet using hashtag APXWin or hashtag P1Win. Tell everyone who you think is going to seal the deal in this game 3 between Apex and Phoenix1. Is it finally happening? Will Phoenix1 show us the consistency that we've been looking for so long, or will Apex be the ones who get one step closer to that playoff spot?
Well, let's take a look here, because Phoenix1 have had trouble in the early game. Step number 1, they've got the Elise, possible early moves. Mid lane's pretty hard though. Karma gets mobility really early on. Difficult lane to gank. And even though Cassiopeia does have a lot of damage she can bring to a gank, can't really set up Elise, so it would be all on Inori to create the play, hit the cocoon.
And that sort of seems like the role that he's taken for the team, flanking with these Hekarims over and over. Oh, Boomerang misses. And now Ray moved in the bush.
Oh,
okay.
Can't get the Q kill on the ward.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on those junglers. Right now, looks like we're getting a recall out of Mash and Gate as they head towards that top side of the map. So Phoenix1 are
swapping it up.
Swap, yeah.
Yep, gonna try and swap it up here.
He's actually stealthing into the mid lane. Might be looking for some damage. Giving us a bit of a show on the mid lane.
It's actually something that people used to do when Twitch was more popular. Make these early level 1 ganks mid to try and blow a summoner. And that would help a lot if they actually are trying to go with Inori pressure mid and try and get that Cassiopeia going. If Mash is able to get it in there and give him an advantage in lane level 1 and then go to the lane swap later.
Oh, he's stealthing up. Mash. Going to get right onto Keen.
Some damage probably, no flash.
Oh, it's the Twitch Cassiopeia poison stacking.
Broken! Does Pyrian actually have Twin Fang? Probably didn't level it up. Oh, he does, yeah. Well, you usually start with that anyways. You can last hit. But
that does mean, though, that they will be a little bit late getting towards that top side. Missing out on starting off with an early jungle camp, though they do get some damage for Keen. So you can sort of see the difference. Zig is opening up with a bit of CS. Ray, not quite so fortunate this game.
Yeah, Zig actually was able to grab a range minion as well up there with the Gnar, burning through those. Top laner, one more CS than we usually see. And then they hang around here, try and soak up experience just out of range before they'll probably both teleport again onto the minion as the tower's hitting. Helps your press, adds a couple seconds there for tower DPS, and ensures that your top laners don't miss out on any experience. What do you know, Dom?
It's happening.
There she blows.
It's happening.
Meanwhile, mid lane, let's check back in. Keen's been able to chug his potions. Feels just fine about that early quick 3 cheap autos from Twitch.
I cry foul. No fouls this game. Just sneaky Twitch sneaking around. Oh, he gets it.
Okay.
Missed that.
Does cost melee because of the Q used of CS on the cannon.
Misses a few, but should be able to keep pace with Pyrian, no problem. We saw him open up with some advantages in the previous game, so we don't think Keen is going to be in too much trouble. As jungles continue to clear it out on that strong side of the map. Shrimp actually skips over a jungle camp to get that scuttle crab first.
Pretty much all according to plan here.
Yep.
Solo gold, solo gold. Oh, actually, bottom lane has not finished. Oops, they did not take it quickly enough. Jhin pretty slow, but also Thresh left really early for the double roam. Special going to hold hands with Shrimp here. Actually, take his little jump through the jungle. All gonna steal some again? Nope. Gonna give it all to Ray.
And juggling out that aggro to make sure that Ray gets solo gold. There he goes. However, Mash and Gate are already on their way. Zig has had a lot longer time on his own in that top lane, and it is pushing towards him.
Yep. He does have a very, very slight experience advantage. It's going to take Ray a while to get up there, too, as he gets chased out. He's going to have to walk the entire way. Actually, they've not decided to break the lane, the turret trading. APX continuing on, so they're swapping AD and support up top to try and knock down number 2. Outer turret number 2 should go down first for Phoenix1, though, because they are ahead on the play on the lane swap. Apex have a giant wave, though, and Shrimp heading up to lend his support.
Going to look for that next tier 1 turret. So, standard opening to the game. You can see Phoenix1, as they're just a little bit faster, have got a minor gold lead.
Yeah, Pyrian in the mid lane. Little bit extra CS there for him. Got that extra damage from Twitch early on. Kind of helped. Twitch as well. Mash has been CSing a lot easier in the lane swap than Jin.
It was the spirit of the gank. I know that I have a Twitch helping me. I feel so empowered.
10 gold right there off tunnels alone. Yeah. Oh, baby. He doesn't have repel for this gank mid, though, so just going to be a walk-in cocoon attempt.
Let's see if he can hit it. Keen speeds himself back, but now the speed is on cooldown.
Wait long enough, your repel will come back up.
Nori's looking for it. Flash cocoon catches Keen, but there's no follow-up yet from Pyrian. He's able to get the slow. And Pyrian burns some good damage, so Keen going to try to heal up.
I mean, he hit the flash cocoon.
Yep.
But just results in some damage. No real pressure mid. And now it looks like we are past 6 minutes, so the Rift Herald is up, and they are probably going to make the trade. That dragon did not move, but Gate thought he was going to flinch.
Yeah. No chance. Mash looking very comfy.
As soon as they hear the dragon go off, actually with the AD carry and support down bottom, there will be no trade. This is just a pure P1 Drake secure. Xpecial and Apollo already are committed to the bottom side, so no Rift Herald buff for them in answer. And the early Mountain should go unanswered here for Phoenix1.
That's a comfortable advantage for Phoenix1. That Drake is going to be very valuable later on when they start trying to break some objectives.
What you get when you're ahead on the lane swap, you get enough ahead, you get tangible rewards. Right now, though, extra pressure being added to that bottom side for Apex as they slip Shrimp in there to secure the second blue buff spawn.
Yeah, going to try to steal this away from Pyrian, who's currently got 0 mana. This will be successful. We'll see if Phoenix1 can do the same, as we're starting to see Apex, as in the previous games, open up with minor advantages in gold. Shrimp, 14 jungle camps ahead. He's actually not recalled yet. Just been on the map for such a long time.
Yep, reinforcements are here for Phoenix1, so they actually should be able to CS off this big wave, and the damage on turret won't mean a whole lot either. Should probably be a long time before they get to revisit. The Phoenix1 can hold that pretty easily. Mash again is split pushing though as the AD carry. Is Twitch, but he will be revealed here for Keen.
Oh, instantly flashes Keen, lands the tether. Oh, but doesn't have enough range.
Extra speed from the heal, and Mash can break the tether. See how much they actually give up. Apollo and Xpecial roaming over to cover mid while Keen went to try and attack top. Summoner rewards on the AD carry. That will reduce Phoenix1's strength in team fights, so probably trying to avoid those until Mash gets those back up, because Twitch is a sitting duck. He's gone early cold.
Yeah. He
definitely doesn't want to fight right now. Whereas Jin, even with pieces of Ghostblade, Jin feels stronger, so.
Apex going to try to push this early advantage as best they can. Going to be a little bit of work to make that happen, though, as 9 minutes in. Lane swap has gone according to plan. Phoenix1, because they were faster, slightly better execution, were able to take the first Mountain Drake of the game. Now they're going to try to get some vision on this side of the map. They've got the duo over here. Could try to look to pressure this tier 2 and potentially fall back onto the Rift Herald, as Ray trying to set up the freeze will have it broken.
Thing about destroying Rek'Sai tunnels is that it does give up your location. They know you're in there. There's no sneak attack going to come after you start destroying tunnels. Ray just CS's happily at his turret.
Big old Trundle trolling up again. We'll see if he goes.
Oh, just barely able to get it. Will it cost him?
Yeah. Nope. Gets out with his life, but now they've got vision, and Phoenix1 don't quite feel safe trying to take that Rift Herald just yet. Zig has got a pretty big wave in the bottom lane as Mash cheats forward in the mid lane. Flash ultimate, but Keen turns around. They're still diving. First blood onto Pyrian.
I love it. Multi-flashes here from B1 and Keen. You can't react after that because you've already been slowed. So even if you answer your flash, you're going down. 3 members, they give him no time to react. Phoenix1 taking over mid lane, but Gate gets hooked in.
Oh, he's going to take some damage. The first bullet misses the second one. Third one is going to be blocked by Mash. And Phoenix1 break down the mid-tier 1 turret with a quick Zerg down mid lane.
Such a nice proactive play from Phoenix1. This is definitely an improvement in their early game play, and that is going to help them out so much. Here's what build Zig is going to go. But again, yeah, here, let's take a look at this duo gank from Gate and Mash. Pyrian, even though he doesn't get the stun, it's fine. Because he's got plenty of other people with flashes, willing to use them, and nowhere for Keen to go.
Definitely a big play from Phoenix1. This is something that we've been really criticizing them for, is their lack of consistency. Well, if they can make these aggressive plays in such a manner that continues to get them a lead.
And I really like how they used Mash goes in as an invisible point for Braum to jump to. So Kate carries this really long distance with his jump and then flash. Point blank lands everything. Good execution. And now they've got that slight gold lead. Extra turret is pretty much where the 1,000 gold will come from, though. So it's not like Apex can't equalize this.
Yeah.
If they get that mid outer down.
Still even gold on the map. Though we are starting to see some differences in CS. Nearly 40 ahead for Ray, but Keen is down and Apollo is down. Rift Herald now being picked up by Phoenix1.
Yeah, objective focus here. Crack that mid turret. They put a bunch more pressure there, and Apex have to respect it. Phoenix1.
Whoa, Shrimp is getting good damage. He's got Rylai's and, excuse me, Pyrian is getting good damage.
Yeah.
Shrimp.
Oh, Shrimp is getting good damage being dealt to him, though.
Yes.
But yeah, he actually runs dry of mana while trying to burn down Shrimp. And
has to replenish the Venom. Uh-oh. Without mana, that means Ray, decides not to go in.
Yep, Phoenix1 ahead in objectives across the board, actually.
He just subjugated. Zig has to hop away.
He
Pyrian
can
is still there.
this.
He's got his ultimate, though. That's going to be enough of a CC. Just barely enough mana. Cloud Drake spawned just in time, and with Ray's teleport, they could look to take this break.
Yeah, this one is definitely Apex. They just chased them out of the jungle. Plus, there was 2 members that Ray was chasing up top, so they'll even up the Drake counts. But the lasting effects of Zig wearing the glimpse of the void. Will this turn the Trundle-Gnar matchup? He's down 40 CS, which is going to cost him, but very similar items. Completed Ninja Tabi actually does a lot of work, though, especially in the early game with the trades, because so much of the trades for top lane are auto attacks. Luckily for Gnar, he's got the Hyper as well, though.
Bonus damage going to help quite a bit if he can manage to land those attacks onto Ray, who's opening up a very comfortable CS lead, as you mentioned. Apex going to try to defend their mid lane now. As Phoenix1, they're getting all those summoners and ultimates off of cooldown. Next Drake is going to be another mountain. Going to be excited to see how that fight breaks out.
Phoenix1 can definitely do this. Like, this could very well be their first series victory. They have a strong teamfight team. If Apex opt into the teamfight and Zig starts it off with a great Gnar ultimate, they could take off with this game. They've got pretty good vision set up all along the top side right now. Mash has been continuing to split push, but hasn't been caught more than blowing summoners. Was close at the time on top. He was able to survive.
We're now getting to that 15-minute mark. Phoenix1 still only about 1,500 gold ahead. 1,000 gold is still on the map, though, so not too much of a difference between these two teams as they look to continue scaling. Taking a look at where the teams are placing stock in their carries, though, it's the same old story. Ray, 40 CS ahead. He's been having a grand old time soloing, while Mash on the other side for Phoenix1 is starting to build up a pretty comfortable advantage of his own.
And he's looking for attempts at assassination again. This duo, plenty of ganks last game. Definitely equipped to do it on Braum Twitch this game as well, but the Tri-Brush ward was deep enough to see Mash before he went invisible. And they'll just back off. Both times, actually, they're still splitting the map according to lane swaps here, as both jungles have been swapped as far as the red quadrants. Everybody focusing in here on Ray, though. They might actually go for this dive.
Oh, the Cocoon hits him and Mash races forward. Even drops the Rattata. Here comes Pyrian, so they are going to look to trade these tier 2s, but Phoenix1 just a step ahead. Even Keen trying to come down, forced to go back mid.
Yeah, Zig's got to be careful as well, but he definitely knows the rest of the team is up here. Waits for the knock-up, then goes for the hop off of Shrimp's head. Well played there by Zig. Escapes the Jhin ult and the Thresh as well. Really well played.
They're diving onto the inhibitor right now. Gate getting a little bit too far forward, trades his life for that of Ray. Mash resets aggro. They've still got a minion wave. Pyrian zones Keen away. Are they going to be able to break this inhibitor? Free 20 minutes. They do. Zig gets his ultimate. If he can keep this tier 2 alive, it's going to be huge.
Not only keep the turret alive, he's stopping recalls, keeping pressure here, and it's allowing inhibitor. What time is it? It's 16 minutes into the game, and inhibitor for Phoenix1.
Oh my god, he scoops his special back in,
and he killed him!
Phoenix1 take the inhibitor and get a kill off of it.
Zig is actually a monster. He evaded all of the dive attempts of Apex up top, turns around to kill, delays them on the turret forever. This is it, Dom. This could be it, okay?
This is the game. This is the
They've got
time.
the gold lead. They have the inhibitor down.
Everything is going Phoenix1's way.
They also have a great team fight comp, so their way of ending out the game is pretty straightforward as well. They've also got a Mountain Drake, so that helps with their objective control. You just group up, get your wards done. You kind of draw the other team into a team fight around one of these objectives. If they don't come, you have Mountain Drake to burn it down. An inhibitor down means that you have extra pressure on the map to set up. See if they can actually get some more of the outer turrets on the other side down.
Yeah.
Because if you don't remain proactive, though, you have to remain proactive as Phoenix1 right now. Otherwise, the bottom lane is just free income for Trundle, as the super minions will destroy all of Apex's minions, and Trundle can keep that in a good place.
That has always been the big question for Phoenix1. We see them make good plays all the time. It's just not consistent in doing that. Well, now they've finally got a few good plays. They've got a good advantage, and the series is tied up. They need to try to close this one out.
And Zig is going the Frozen Mallet build, not the Cleaver. So he'll probably get Cleaver second, but right now he's got the speed difference, at least due to the slow, to take that 1 versus 1 and keep Trundle at bay. Plus he's got the Glimpse of the Void, so he's set up to do well in the 1 versus 1.
Phoenix1 are pressuring the top side of the map with Mountain Drake spawning in a minute. They're going to force a difficult decision for Apex, and Apex are actually going to recall and respect this.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any chance that Apex try and go rush the Drake in exchange for more turrets.
Ooh.
They can't afford to.
They've caught a special, though. Zig is going to get an auto attack before hopping away, but they're trying to rush down this tier 2 turret. They still have the Mountain Drake teleport coming in. There goes the curtain call. They've caught Pyrian. Gate is going to soak a few of these hits, but here comes Raze. Gate gets pulled back in. They're trying to disengage it. Mash flanking from the side forces Apex back. They're all now forced to retreat under the turret. Zig's got Meganar.
There was a ward on the ward that Ray teleported on, so Phoenix1 immediately disengaged. Even with the hook landing, they're able to get out of there. Really good disengage from Phoenix1, but here's a snare.
Oh, Gate left behind by his team. Pyrian over the wall is going to drop a slow. Cocoon finds it special, and Apex cannot find the engage.
Yeah, they still are trying, though.
Yeah, that Subjugate used on Zig. Ray chases forward. Snare unfortunately misses. Trip is on top of Pyrian. He's forced to flash away. Pyrian's going to do some major damage.
Here comes Mash, though.
Oh, he's trying to get some burning down. They're all grouped up in the AoE. Special drops. Phoenix1 are cleaning up the fight, and Nori gets 3 kills. 4 kills.
They're going to do it.
Phoenix1. That's an ace. Phoenix1 are winning the game 8-1.
They're going to crush through the base, too. They have Mountain Drake. They can annihilate this turret. They were buying time there. We said they wanted the team fight. They have a great team fight comp, and they baited for so long. Mash went mid, so Apex kept trying to chase because they saw the Twitch mid, but it took them so long to finally get the engagement. By the time they do, Mash comes through the jungle. They take them out inside their own blue buff area. And Phoenix1 with a very successful bait on top. Let's take a look at this. Mash, if you look at the mid lane there on the mini-map, he was just spotted mid lane, but you gotta cut your losses here on the chase and know that he's gonna come over. Focus here from Phoenix1 as they turn it around. Ray is zoned off from the rest of the team. Cassiopeia lays down huge zone control and Twitch free firing from the back line.
A huge cleanup from Phoenix1. They've got momentum in this match. 20 minutes in, that bottom inhibitor is still down, pressuring. Phoenix1 return to that side of the map.
Counter engage, heavily drafted for by Phoenix1, and definitely paying off there.
Yeah.
They are really able to accelerate the pace of this game now. 6,000 gold lead. If they grab that other mountain first, they can burn through Baron, but they don't even want to go down to the mountain. They've already got ward control over Baron, and they're just going to go for it.
They're going to burn through this Baron. They do have that Mountain Drake.
Ray does not have teleport, so they're giving this Baron up. It's just going to be APX sitting in their base, licking their wounds, trying to delay Phoenix1 from ending the game.
Phoenix1 are 7,000 gold ahead. They're 8 kills to 1.
In game 3 of their series versus APX, trying to get their first series victory here.
This would be huge for them. This would be such
Just a morale
boost. Yeah.
Trying to get out of the bottom spot.
I mean,
It's going to take...
best case scenario, they can look for a 50% win rate over the course of the LCS, but that's going to be taking out some big teams. If we start here, Phoenix1...
Got to start sometime.
Yeah. They're even going to take this second Mountain Drake. It's been on the map for quite some time. Apex are forced to sit back and defend.
This is not looking good for Apex here. Ray did go for the Ravenous completion again as well. There's nobody that can really stand on the front line, and they can't engage. If you try and engage at this point into Cassiopeia Braum with a Twitch Gnar as well, it's suicide. You're so far down in gold. They have to catch someone out. It has to be a pick here. You know, maybe Apollo ultimates and somebody mispositioning for Apex. They have to try and hope for a misstep here from Phoenix1 to turn it around.
Yeah, they clean out that mid tier 2. Mash sneaks down, spots Ray. They know that the Baron minions, have got Baron buff, so they know somebody's there. But Zig splits top. Kian tries to burn through. Apollo drops the Yomus. The rest of Phoenix1 are splitting on the opposite side. They take that inhibitor back. Zig is not done pushing. Phoenix1 are pulling Apex apart.
Baron buff gonna aid in the siege. One inhibitor down, one to go. Oh, Zig does get caught this time.
Yeah, that's a little bit overzealous there. Against 2 members of Apex, he doesn't quite have enough, but that inhibitor is there, and Phoenix1, without that front line, decide to back away. Play it safe. They've still got time. They've still got a pretty big advantage in this game. 8,000 gold, and that inhibitor is down again.
Oh yeah, you can say that. Pretty big here. Mash is definitely feeling good as well. He's got 4 of the kill credit from that last little skirmish they had. Working on Infinity Edge here. If he gets to that break point, it is going to be very difficult for Apex. Already trying to walk up the mountain here, defending their open base. They don't even have inhibitor turrets to rely on.
Yeah, 1 inhibitor turret remaining. Apex are trying to sit back and recover from this reeling game from Phoenix1, able to take these fights, drafting the fight disengage composition and being allowed to fight and disengage and stall long enough to get out that huge damage. Inori, though,
there's the pick that Apex are looking for, but reinforcements for Phoenix1 arrive.
Yeah, Fury needs some big damage. Keen gets stunned, but he's on top of a lantern, so he's able to ride it. Takes some big damage, though. Meanwhile, here comes the rest of Phoenix1. Shrimp over the wall is going to escape despite the concussive blows. They've still got Baron buff for another 20 seconds. They could try to walk these minions down.
Yeah, I think they should switch over to the open inhibitor, not try and fight at the turret. Any sort of added defense for Apex is good. You can see the 4-man squad are doing just that. Zig just trying to hold pressure here.
Yeah, they're trying to cheat forward, clearing out the vision of Apex. Phoenix1, they've got the team fight. Poison is going to be tossed and missed. Minions get cleared out as the hook misses. With that, Apex have got to be careful. Jake gets caught by the snare. They're whittling it down. Max has got the increased attack speed now. The inhibitor turret goes down. Apex are unable to defend it. That's 2 inhibitors down. Phoenix1. This could be it.
Oh, this is happening, Dom.
This is happening right now. They're even on the middle inhibitor turret. There's no one to defend. Gate in the front is going to soak a lot of damage. Drops the disengage. There goes Zig. He's going to be exhausted, but Shrimp has died. He's got a Guardian Angel, though. They're on the inhibitor itself. Zig buys so much time for his team. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Tank for tank, but that inhibitor's about to go down.
Minions!
Oh, it's finally going to drop. 3 inhibitors for
Can
Phoenix1.
they get out? They just need to disengage now because 3 inhibitors at 25 minutes is almost impossible to deal with. The super minions stacking up this point, you don't have the items to deal with them. By the time 3 inhibitors are usually down, even though that's such a huge lead already, you're usually at least late into the game where you've got items to deal with them. At the moment, the super minions are going to just burn through what little Apex have left, and P1, all they need to do now is recall, go purchase, wait for the 5 members, and then just walk up and sit in Apex's base, waiting for the minions to do all the dirty work. Here it is, though. Gate does get hooked. Gate the bait once again, draws them in. They get the initiation baited out of Apex and turn it right around. Zig goes in, does get kited pretty well by Apex. They actually spread out really well there around him, and they're able to get the counter kill, but doesn't matter because all the inhibitors are down. And here come the flood of minions.
Yeah, 90 seconds for that next break. That's another mountain. And then another 10 seconds, 15 seconds after that before the Baron spawns. Phoenix1, they are primed to take their first match.
And tie Echo Fox in the standings. They would not be in sole possession of last place.
Yeah.
At least they'll have a partner.
It's been an arduous journey for this team, playing with sub-junglers, sub-AD carries, sub-mid laners.
Swapping back and forth. Mash was out for a while, came back in. But now they've had time with the intended roster here.
Yeah.
And it finally culminates. Swarming the base of Apex.
This is a lot of super minions. Ziggs Meganar has been popped in the bottom lane. Period's in front, though. He's forced to flash away. Gets a good stun onto Ray. Gate is able to block a few of these shots, but Zig gets a huge stun against the wall. Mash lines it up and picks up 3 kills. Phoenix1 have done it. They have won their first series, bringing down Apex 2-1. Very close, but some big smiles from Phoenix1 taking the win. Very, very well-deserved in that game 3. Gotta feel good for these guys. Finally able to hold together the match. Really big smiles.
I'm ready for the resurgence.
Yep.
Second half of the split, baby.
Phoenix1 coming back. The pressure's on. Well, now they've got that one win.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
I mean, the pressure is on Apex now because we keep talking about how close they are to this borderline of making playoffs or not. Dropping the game to Phoenix1, that is going to be something they have to recover from by taking it off of something like Cloud9, Team Envy, Team Liquid. Like, these are very difficult opponents, or CLG even, to try and get that spot back.
Yeah, very competitive split here in the LCS. APX really giving us some ups and downs. It seems like we say it every time. They live and die by Ray. Whenever Ray can go off, they make magic happen. But Phoenix1, prioritizing the disengage, they're able to keep him away from their carries and able to pick up a few of these kills and earn themselves their first match win.
Yeah, I have to say as well, Mash himself had a lot of good plays.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in Game 2 on the Lucian.
Game 3, playing that Twitch, lining up tons of AoE damage. Still going for the split push style AD carry. Maybe they'll have to take a look at that, but it worked out for them over the course of this match and over the course of Game 3. Pressure is still on, though.
Yeah, I like how they evolved, as the series went on, too. Came out with the everybody take a global composition. Didn't quite have enough damage to follow them up. And then slowly, after a couple iterations they were able to make it.
Able to refine it into their victory. Now, but to hear about Phoenix1's first LCS victory, we're going stage side, where Zyrene is going to give us an interview with Phoenix1 support.
Thank you very much, Dom. Great cast on the day as well. I'm here with Gate, the support of the victorious Phoenix1. I have to ask you right off the bat, you guys won your first series. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels good, man. But yeah, I don't know. It feels good to finally get a win on the board. That's about it.
And you guys, you've been through so many struggles. You've lost a lot of games. Like, how do you keep positive through all of that and ending up at this point eventually?
Personally, I think I just try to think, not like our score in the standings, it doesn't matter so much. We're just trying to go on the grind every week and then improve ourselves every week. And in the end, if we're good players, if we're a good team, we're going to end up with wins. So I think thinking about it too much is just not worth the time.
And the team finally got everybody, the intended roster together. How are you feeling about the team right now for Phoenix1?
I think we're actually way stronger than people think. I think our game 1 against TSM yesterday, like we kept pace with them fairly well in the first game. And it's mostly like some individual stuff that made us lose that set, I think. But they're a strong team too. But overall, I'm pretty sure over the course of the season, we're going to end up with a better standing too.
And how are you feeling about the coaching staff as well as the Phoenix1 organization? Because you've been on a few teams before. How are these guys?
I can say with confidence that Phoenix1 is the best org I've been on so far. They really care about the players. They really want us to succeed. And they provide us with everything we need to do so.
Awesome. And final question for you here, Gate. Next week, you go up against Echo Fox, who you are currently tied with in the standings. What is your thought on that matchup? Is this the start of the reverse season sweep? How's it going to go?
I think Echo Fox is actually a pretty good team, similar to us. I think people give them a lot of flack for their standing. But yeah, I definitely want to just reverse sweep the rest of the season. And actually, my goal for this team is still playoffs, but we'll have to take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah, you guys could definitely still get up there and have playoffs. Thank you very much, Gate, for the interview. Congratulations and good luck next week. And now we're going to throw it over to the analysts to break down that series.
And the Phoenix rises from the ashes. There it is. No, a great first victory for Phoenix1 here on the split, taking down APX in a 2-1 series. Great to see them grab that victory. Great to hear from Gate as well in that interview, talking about the team and the organization behind them and the efforts they're making to improve. This is step 1 of that improvement, is taking their first match victory.
My favorite thing about their set was the fact that their wins came off of their own plays. They're looking for the picks themselves. They're looking for the roams. What can they be pushing? You saw Mash in that Twitch game just constantly roaming and looking for picks, and that's how you play the champion, and they actually play that really well. They're always pushing the advantage that they currently had, and that's a really nice change to see as opposed to a team that's just kind of taking the win from the opponent.
So Mark, help me set this up, because exactly what he talked about, they played to their win conditions, they were proactive. That, of course, starts in Champion Select with the team comp that you build. So let's take a look at this Champion Select and what Phoenix1 crafted for themselves.
I mean, honestly, I think as much as Phoenix1 drafted well, APX drafted pretty horribly. The Cassie was basically first picked, right, on the side of Phoenix1.
First rotation on red side.
Yeah, first rotation. And when you see a Cassie, you instantly think like, okay, well, we need to get some engaged in here, because if we don't get engaged, the Cassie will just burn our front line, and then they'll turn onto our back line. And they just didn't draft anything that can engage. Like, you have the Karma sped up rec size, sure, but that's not going to fly against a Braum and Elise, like everything that Phoenix1 has.
Exactly.
And so that's why the Twitch pick is so good, is because like
he's ultra safe now.
He's ultra safe. Like, there's no engage. Twitch will just blow you up from the back line. The Jhin can kind of like poke, but that's not nearly enough. Like, they need to draft something with tank. Crumbs had a great idea of taking a Bard instead of a Thresh. You have some long-range engage now, and then you speed the Rek'Sai in for the knock-up coming out, and like, it makes sense. Thresh does nothing. It's just not going to work as a comp. And then with that advantage, Phoenix1 was able to punish really, really hard.
Well, another issue I had is that Apollo was constantly falling behind in CS in the series. And when you pick a champion like Jhin, who struggles to rotate, who struggles to actually pick up a lot of farm in the game, putting him on a champion like that is just going to emphasize the strength that P1 had in the AD carry kind of mismatch and just utilize that. And that's how they won game 2, and that's how they won game 3.
Exactly. Let's dive into some gameplay itself. 15 minutes into the game, Phoenix1 going to pick up some cross-map kills here. But true to form on this day, we're under inhibs. With the 20-minute, the sub-20-minute like inhib fights are ridiculous. But Phoenix1 playing this one out fairly well and themselves.
That was a great flash Cassio ult to protect Mash from getting collapsed on. And they're able to basically stay alive in that fight. They go 1 for 1, but they're able to take the turret because of it. And then what ends up happening on the flip side is Apex is just not able to make their own dive happen because, once again, no engage. And so Special's going really hard, picks up turret aggro, and then Zig is able to punish him for this.
Boom!
Basically just trying to force anything to get, and they just can't.
I love the decisiveness on the dive on P1. We talk about a lot of teams not having that decisiveness when it comes to these tower dives on people trying to defend. Apex did not have one. They pay for it. As soon as Trundle steps up, you have the Braum flashing in, everybody following this up, and when somebody else steps up, Cassiopeia goes there to defend the teammate. And that's exactly how we should see these team plays occur, as opposed to the reverse, which was what Apex was trying to do.
I love even more the fact that we saw those two things immediately following each other in the same game. So you get a very stark contrast. One team making a decisive play pays off for them. One team kind of falters on it, hesitates for half a second, and they even give another advantage over in a kill to Zig, who played very well on that Gnar in this game. I want to jump forward a little bit just to 19 minutes into the game. Phoenix1 is going to pick up an ace of all things here. So, you know, at this point, just kind of rolling in the dough.
I mean, you just see how Apex can't do anything but run at them. There's no engage. There's already been a ton of ults blown this fight, but that still doesn't matter because they just can't ever actually get in on P1. And P1's able just to mow them down with both Twitch and Cassio burning multiple members down and Zig kiting out also on Gnar. So there's just so little engage.
I mean, an important thing with the draft is making sure that all your champions don't have the same kind of weakness. And Apex's comp, they're all kind of just walk towards you. None of them actually have a way of getting into the tunnel.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult.
Yeah,
like,
flash knockouts
literally,
and
all it takes is Cassiopeia W, and okay, you can't cross anymore.
Right. Yeah, so ultimately, Phoenix1, they secure the Baron. They're able to close out the game with the advantages that they had created. Now, I want to look forward a little bit and talk about how they can ensure that this happens more often, right? Because that's the trick here. This is your first victory of this split. We talk about how this is a team that is looking to improve. They've got, Gate says he's got a great support staff and organization behind him. What are the most key things that these guys need to tackle as a team in order to improve the quickest?
For me, I think it's just kind of consistency, because since Inori's come in, they've actually been able to make a number of plays onto enemy teams. Like, we saw him kind of camp Hanser really hard in one of their games versus TSM, and if they can kind of do that and take those advantages and snowball them throughout the rest of the game, as opposed to just like having a good play here or there, then they can have a good chance to win. And I think that they actually, I wouldn't put them bottom of the league, like 10th place anymore. I think, given some of the struggles of other teams, I would put them, you know, a little bit higher, maybe 8th, 9th. So
who would you put dead last?
For me personally, I think it might be Echo Fox. They've just been struggling to do anything really in their games, and it's like P1 is improving. You can say Energy is looking better, more consistent. A lot of the teams are looking better, even if, you know, they're still like in that standing or whatever, but Echo Fox has been getting worse, it seems. So
yeah, you talk about a direction that you want your team to move in. Phoenix1 is at least moving in the right direction as a squad. You mentioned the fact that Inori, with him, they've looked a little bit better. We do have to remind ourselves that he has not been on the stage with this team for all 5 weeks, so they're definitely playing catch up with the rest of the teams. We got a hit player of the game is going to go to Zig on this one with that Gnar. Had a couple very great ultimates, as well as we saw in the replay, that hold on the top turret, allowing his team to get that early inhib by being able to defend the way he did.
Well, one of the things that I really like about Ziggs play this game is that while he fell behind in CS towards this early stages of the game, he was still able to maintain relevancy, especially in that Trundle matchup. Once he gets that frozen mallet, it's really hard for Trundle to really punish onto the Gnar, and he just kept on going at it, not getting caught, understanding that all he has to do is just not die. Just let the Twitch, let the Cassiopeia, the composition is just going to win itself because there's no answers from the Apex draft. So by making sure that he just does not feed and just catches a wave patiently, he'll trust his team to do the right thing, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, not much more to add. I mean, it was really just about being the front line that his team needed, and he did that excellent.
All right, well, once again, Phoenix1 picking up their first series victory of the split in 2-1 fashion over Apex. Very happy with that. We'll track their progress throughout the rest of the split. But now it's time to check out who pulled down Player of the Game honors today across all of the North American LCS. Bjergsen and Dardoch showed up big this week, each grabbing 3 awards. Huni took down 2 today, back-to-back against Cloud9, along with a slew of players taking 1 Player of the Game honor each. And now a look rather at how the Player of the Game leaderboard stands after today. We've still got Bjergsen and Doublelift leading the charge 7-6. Pobelter I should include in that top 3. And then you follow that up with Dardoch Phoenix sitting at 5 as we saw earlier today. And then the big one that still obviously jumps out at me is Bunny Fufu sitting at 4. Given the fact that they continue that support trading between him and Smoothie, so you have to keep in mind the number of games that he's played.
It's those thresh plays every time, just saving people, hooking through seemingly impossible situations, and he also has a very nasty Bard, so while getting those half games, you could argue that probably if you got many more of those games, it might not be able to pull up Player of the Game every single time, but it's still a very solid player, and as they've been vocal about it, it's just two teammates helping each other grow.
I like how the Player of the Game standings are kind of the same as the actual standings. You see TSM at the top, and then you got like
Immortals
1 from Immortals,
yeah.
and then you got 2 from TL there, so it's pretty funny that that's how it's working out as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it does come down to you win more games, obviously have more opportunities to get Player of the Game awards, but within those teams too, it's very interesting to track which players are the ones that are shooting up the ladder. Now for an updated look at the standings following the conclusion of all of our Week 5 matches. The top is still rock solid. TSM and Immortals at 1st and 2nd place. Now in a 3-way tie for 3rd, C9, Liquid, and Team Envy are all bunched up and fighting for a top spot, while the bottom half of the standings are led by Apex in 6th, followed by the rest of the league. Phoenix1 tying themselves up with Echo Fox there at the bottom of the tables. We're done for the day, but Week 6 is right around the corner, and it all starts Wednesday with a PTL at 5 Pacific, followed by Cloud9 Challenger and Nova in the Challenger Series at 6. Next week, the EU LCS is on at a special time, Friday, 5 p.m. Central European Time, 8 a.m. Pacific. The EU LCS goes live and follows up with a special Saturday EU show that kicks off at noon Central European. Now on Friday night at 5 Pacific, the NA LCS returns with TSM taking on Cloud9 in the Battle Theater. And get pumped now, our match of the week comes your way Saturday from the Battle Arena, where Liquid and Immortals square off. My goodness, that was a lot of words. Did you guys catch all that?
No, I totally ignored you.
What? Why would you do that?
It's just
because now I'm going to ask you questions about everything I just said. Pop quiz. Were you paying attention?
Sure.
All right. Talk to me about this match of the week.
Team Liquid Immortals.
There it is. There it is. See, Crumbs is paying attention.
I can just look behind. I don't need to listen to you.
Behind us.
All right. Well, then neither of you get a gold
time
star.
for EU LCS. Special.
There you go. Yeah, EU's on special time. We digress. Immortals versus Team Liquid. With Team Liquid's great showing this week, they're going to be moving into this matchup feeling relatively good, having taken down Cloud9. However, based on the Immortals Cloud9 matchup, I'd still be pretty terrified.
Yeah, Immortals looks pretty good.
I mean, you see what happens when like one team stomps another team, and then they go up against like the CLG TSM thing where both stomped really hard, and then you compared them, and TSM still smashed them. I think that might be the situation here where it's like 2 Rams just beating their head against each other, but 1 Rams.
One is a youngin. And
I know.
Yeah.
I was going to say. I mean, I know that you've talked about, Mark, the fact that you think that Liquid and Immortals play very much alike each other. It's just that Immortals kind of has that +1 in each category in terms of their attributes as a team. So that always bodes for an unfavorable matchup for Team Liquid.
Right. It's not that each player is the same when you start comparing them, but it's their overall mentality to the game where they both love being aggressive. And when 2 teams are really aggressive, you get explosive, decisive games, and I don't think you'll see any slow stall outs.
Team Liquid likes to lose fast as well, so I feel like if they if they happen to fall behind early, which is a really big thing that Immortals does, they get ahead early, these games might be rather quickly as opposed to what Immortals tries to do, which is kind of stall out just a little bit until they feel comfortable to make it back.
Yeah, Team Liquid's version of the surrender is just the 5-man all-in at 24 minutes when you're down 8K gold. Like, let's take a stab at it. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we have our way back into it. All right, well, throughout the day, we've been asking you to send us picks on Twitter. And before we go, we want to highlight how some of you at home watch the show. First up, a tweet comes from Magnus Franta, who says, watching NALCS with my cat, at least trying to. She's distracting me. Crumbs, if you can either step towards me or step towards
I've
Mark.
opened up.
Either way, here we go. As you can see, I don't have a cat, and part of the reason why I don't have a cat is because I know that they would interrupt all of my viewing experiences.
They actually do. They get on your keyboard and they just start typing for you.
They're a living pillow. You just they just walk up on you and they're like, I go here.
All right. No, you can, okay, no, scoot all the way over because we're going to show another picture.
Come here, buddy.
All right, you're having trouble with
Get
the whole
lost.
blocking elements
I'll
of this.
choose both.
Just go around.
Yeah, you know what? You're done for the day. All right, up next, Forgotten Jedi snapped the pic with maybe our youngest viewer today saying, how I LCS with my little buddy.
Is it beer?
Where?
I mean, that's a way.
We had the wrong photo. I was like,
beer back. I want a baby.
We are in a bar right now. A freshly poured beer with the young. That is adorable. Great to get the family included with esports, right? As early as
started,
possible.
yeah.
There's
Get
a
them
lot
started.
of plushies that are very comfortable.
You know, I wonder if any of the teams are, have made any baby-sized merchandise, right? You know how growing up,
Gotta capitalize on the young
parents could buy
markets.
you, like the NFL jersey for your favorite team for, small fry.
Small
Gotta do
sneakers,
that
too.
here. Anyway, great to see that. Finally, at Matt Will Jackson is having a more adult-oriented evening and writes, I usually just watch the EU games at work, but this is a nice way to end LCS. This makes a little bit more sense to the tweet that we got here. But love it. Little cold brew in front and some LCS games. Great to see the League of Legends, competitive League of Legends, making its way out into the world in that fashion.
Yeah, I mean, having a baby is a pretty adult thing too. Having one, so not just
You know,
drinking beer.
you think that, but we've seen many cases
The
where
most
babies
adult
are
thing you
not
can
very
do
adult
is to
things.
drink beer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our show. So on behalf of myself, our guest analysts, the casters, the King of the North, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
You mean the king of the...
I mean, I'd like to say that we're going to stop CLG. I think it's going to be a close match. Hotshot's obviously nervous. He didn't show up today.
That must be what it is.
Called in last minute, saying he was sick. So maybe we have a higher chance than I think.